Everyone knows that food is fuel and that you wouldn't power your car with lemon juice or try to run a steam engined train on Jaffa cakes. So, why are we polluting our own bodies with crappy foods and why are they so accessible to us? Although I probably can't answer those questions to a significant degree, I can talk a little bit about diet and what food is probably going to be best for you. Now, maybe I can't tell you exactly what food is best for you because diet is a very, very personal thing and not all diets are created equally. And what I mean by that is that it's not simply that some diets are objectively better than others. Sure, some are probably, but it's more that not every diet affects every person in the same way. So whereas one person might absolutely adore the Atkins diet and it might do them wonders and fit in with their schedules perfectly in their budget, for another person it might be very detrimental financially, but also it might affect their bodies in ways which are inconducive to their health. So the question, do diets work? Well, would be it depends. It depends on the diet, it depends on your relationship to food, it depends on your environment, your ability to continually afford that diet. A lot of people would say, and I've spoken to a couple of dietitians who've said that intuitive eating is the way forward. It's the way that we should be. And intuitive eating is just about it, it's primarily about listening to your body, its needs, and satisfying those needs. Eating when you're hungry and not to excess, and eating the right sorts of food that your body wants or needs for healthy growth and maintenance. Now, although intuitive eating might be the ideal, it doesn't actually tell you what exact foods to eat. So, in terms of like energy consumption, one study says a diet with 50% carbohydrates, 25% fats, and 25% protein is the best for maintaining a healthy weight. Whereas another study has shown that a higher fat diet, something similar to ketogenic, is the most conducive to maintaining healthy weight. So, although it's difficult to prescribe a specific diet, what is good is to sort of explore different diets, different compositions of your diet. So, how much do you want to be carbohydrate, fat, protein? And also, you really want to be making sure you're getting in your micronutrients as well, or your vitamins and minerals. And it's great if you use supplements, but ideally, you're getting most of your nutrition, your micronutrition, I guess, from the actual foods you're eating. This is to do with the availability of nutrients, how much we can absorb the nutrition. But I think the evidence is inconclusive. So, if you're not getting enough omega 3, feel free to take omega 3 tablets as opposed to eating more fish. And also, fish might not be in line with your dietary requirements. So, to answer how a poor diet affects your attention, well, putting aside for the moment all of the refined foods or the processed meats and excess oils, just looking at basic chemistry, I guess, in terms of food chemistry, when simple sugars or simple carbohydrate is broken down and your glucose levels spike, you get this rush, you get this energetic, this rush, and then you crash. And what happens there is your attention, your ability to attend, your ability to pay attention and focus is diminished temporarily. And then what can happen then is you desire more glucose, you want that spike again. And this sort of fluctuation is quite common, especially when we're snacking on sugary things or we're having sugary cereals for breakfast, or toast, white toast. All of these things are sort of inconducive to maintaining a steady level of concentration and focus throughout the day. Organic food is another question. There have been studies on organic food and how it affects ADHD and health. And overall, for the short term studies, I've seen a pretty positive increase in the ability to pay attention and just be healthier in eating organic food. I mean, if you think about it, you are consuming less toxins, you're ingesting fewer poisons, some people would say. Um, there's a book, E for Additives, which talks about all the different additives, colours, and preservatives that goes into food, and a lot of the E numbers like E218, E217, down to E201, I believe, um, and maybe even further back, they are recommended against for consumption for children because of their effects, potential effects on ADHD. So a direct link there to attention deficiency. So although there is inconclusive evidence on a lot of what goes into making a food non-organic, a lot of the pesticides, etc., for me, it's the safest bet just to try to reduce the amount you're consuming of that stuff because we don't know the long-term health effects. In summary, try to do what works for you. Explore different diets. Try eating organic. Try eating keto. Try high carb, but really try to stick away from processed foods, processed meats, really high fatty, oily foods with like more negative oils. So like high fat bacon, for example, or just bacon in general. I guess it's all pretty high fat. Try to stay away from refined sugars, candy, or whatever you want to call it, sweets. Yeah, processed stuff, McDonald's, Burger King, all fast food stuff, crisps. Stay away from stuff with too many additives in it. Basically, stuff which is you can yeah see is kind of crap, you know. And try to introduce more organic food into your life, more fruits, more vegetables, more nuts, maybe leaner meats if you eat meat. But also look into the health implications of red meat because some stuff out there which says that that isn't too groovy for your health. There's a brilliant book called How Not to Die and another book called How Not to Diet, which I recommend reading. However, at the end of the day, a lot of this is structural, and as much as you would like to maintain this perfect diet, which is organic and locally produced, and it's all fruit and veg and nuts and really high quality drinks or minerals and supplements, it's difficult because I live in a culture which is throwing Burger King advertisements left, right, and centre. So there is a lot of structural change which would need to be done, and can't just simply be done on an individual level, which makes it difficult to maintain a good diet. We see advertising everywhere. We see basically the accessibility to really good food, organic, locally produced, whatever food. It's low accessibility because the cost is so high, and also it's much harder to source than nipping to the local convenience store or Tesco and buying a load of crap essentially. Sure, fruit and vegetables are heavily available there usually, but you're bombarded with all this other food advertised and promoted, special offers here, there, and everywhere, which just makes it a lot more difficult to just eat well. So to conclude, it's not easy shifting a diet. You can easily beat yourself up and feel bad for not being able to maintain diet X or diet Y or shifting through all these different diets. But that's quite normal, I think, especially with how popular diets still are. But just try to listen to your body and try to just make good decisions when it comes to buying food at the supermarket. And if you are hungry, sure, buy snacks, but try an apple over a flapjack, something like that. Try to stay away from non-organic foods, but do your research. The evidence is inconclusive, and just overall try to eat more fruit and veg. Thanks.